everyone, and welcome back to Pittsburgh Vader. I know it's been a little while since I released a video, but I've had some stuff going on. But I'm back working on it now, so cleaned up the garage a little bit, got some shelves. I'm going to have to reorganize those later, but just got some stuff out of the way so I have room to work. I need to get this door readjusted. We need to move it in a little bit, drill some different holes so we can move this just in. That way we can get rid of the overhang and get everything to fit correctly. Then we can start working on putting the components from that door into this door. I did test it out thanks to some of the guys in the comments. You let me know that this door actually has to be plugged in to get the passenger window working. So we tested that out, it works. So I'm gonna be wiring that up and trying to get that stuff in the new door. That way we can work both doors at the same time. I still have to lower the front guide for the passenger door. This has to go down a couple inches. So I'll be doing that, and once I get that aligned and working, I can just replicate that on the other side. So I'm gonna do this side first, and after that we can go over there and start working on that. I was also having some issues with the trunk. I don't know if you guys remember, but up there it was rubbing, and it also wasn't even down at the bottom completely. So I actually undid the hinges up there, dropped it back down, and now it's sitting pretty much the best we can do with the way everything is. So this is sitting in here as good as we can get it, and I'm gonna actually make new plates and brackets for the hinges up there. And hopefully with those new brackets, it will fit much better and it will be able to swing up without rubbing and getting caught up at the top. So I'm gonna try that out, see how it works. And I'm basing it off some pictures I found online, so we'll see how that turns out. Alright, so what I'm doing is I got this black ABS plastic and I'm using it to cover the holes in the rear end. As you can see, it kind of just goes straight through, so I needed something to cover that. I saw a few pictures online of people using black plastic like this and then drilling it in. I'm probably going to take this back out, and this stuff's pretty strong actually. It's flexible, but it's pretty much going to do the job. I'll probably, after it's painted and everything, I'll probably add either adhesive or some weather stripping to this and make a better seal from the plastic to the body itself. But for now, I just wanted to get these in here. That way I can start testing the trim pieces for the back here. And once I cover these holes, I'll see if those trim pieces can be installed with these bolts here or not. If they can't, then I'll glue this in. And if they can, then I think screwing it in is probably the best way to do it. And that'll cover the holes and make it just look a lot better and pretty much just make it watertight and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna do all these holes and I'll show you guys how it looks afterwards. Here's the back. I got the one plate in there and another one in the middle. I left these two empty so I can still get in through it. I'll explain that a little bit more in a second. Alright, I didn't get a time lapse of me installing this just because it's really hard to get the tripod back here. There's really not a lot of room. So this is basically the idea. Instead of bolting the hinge into these holes directly, this plate extends it down, and I'm going to slide this up and mark where the holes need to be for this to sit as easily as it can. And once that's up there, I'll mark it, take it back out, drill those holes, and do the same thing for the other side. And then hopefully just bolt this back in, and we should have no issues with the trunk. So that's the plan. I'm going to do that now and just keep working on stuff like this. I still have to finish filling in those holes in the back there. As you can see, I filled in the 2 in the middle. That's just one big piece of plastic. I left those 2 side holes over there undone. That way we can still reach in there to get to the wiring for the headlights and stuff like that. So after I'm finished with the stuff back there, further along in the build, I'll be closing up those 2 holes. But yeah, for now, that's the view from the inside, blocking off some of those holes. And after this is bolted onto the plate, it also gives us an area to screw in one of those little ball joints for the shock hinges, one of these. I threw away by accident the other one that I needed when I cut apart the trunk. So I'll be getting another one of these and installing it somewhere around here, over here, just depending on where it needs to be for the trunk. I'm assuming it needs to be right here. But yeah, that gives us an area to mount that and something that's pretty solid so it won't wear away over time and break things. Okay, and there we go. I have it bolted in. I still have to tighten up all the way, but it's pretty much where it needs to be. Over here, I got the same thing done. I have one more bolt to put in, but I was just testing it right now, so I'll show you how it's working. So if you come back here, it's already a lot more level. I obviously still have to fix some of the gaps here, but that's not too big of a deal. I already knew I was going to have to do that no matter how I place the trunk, because these arches line up, but just the middle has some issues. So I'll fix that. Each edge is up about the same amount, but it really doesn't matter because once the little wing back here is placed in, you really won't see those gaps, even though it's up a little bit higher than level. The middle all the way till about here is perfectly level, so that's very good. Little bit of an issue up there still, but it's much, much better. If you lift, it goes up much better, and then it touches a tiny, tiny bit up there, but it doesn't get stuck like it used to, and it moves a lot smoother. Lowering the hinges actually made it glide up and down a lot smoother than before, so I'm gonna mess with it to try to get that to not hit up there, but if I can't, I'll probably just shave it down like I was doing before, but it won't need much. It's barely touching now, so that's a lot better. And I'm just gonna keep doing that, and then once I get this to go up and down the way I need it to, I can come in here and mount that plate onto the roll cage there and install the latch and then put the other piece on there. That way I will have a fully working trunk. I was also having a lot of people tell me not to wrap it. I'm not set on wrap yet. I'm just trying it out. I may go with a full wrap depending on just the way I go with the whole build and everything, but I'm not like dead set on the wrap yet. We'll see. Some of you guys suggested Plasti Dip. I have used Plasti Dip before and gotten really good results, so I may go with that. I may hire someone to paint it. I'm just really not sure. So it's really just a matter of waiting to see how far along I get. If I get it ready for paint during the winter, it's freezing out right now, so if I do get it ready, I might go with a Plasti Dip or a wrap and then change it later on. But if it takes a couple more months to finish this and it starts getting warm again, I might try my hand at painting it myself. But right now it's too cold down here to get good results painting, so I'll have to figure something out. Plasti Dip is seeming like a good option. I can heat up the garage and you don't have to worry about fish eyes and stuff like that as much with a Plasti Dip as you do with a paint. It's more DIY friendly. So we'll have to see, but I haven't really set my mind on exactly what I want to do for finishing off the car yet. Another thing that I'm not sure about, but I've been looking into a little bit more recently, is suspension for the Vader. I'm not sure exactly which setup I want to go with, but I am sure that I want to go with coilovers. I looked into doing bags, and I just decided that that's not the route I want to go with. So I am going to do coilovers, but I'm not sure which kind yet. I've been looking into a few. I originally wanted to do BC Racing, but they only let you drop it to around 3 inches lower than the original ride height. And since I did go with the smaller 20-inch wheels, I need to drop it about 3.5 to 4 inches, and I'm just not going to be able to do that. The only ones I could find were the Raceland Ultimos. Those drop up to 4 inches, so those would be fine. I'm just a little worried because they are a cheaper brand, and I'm not exactly sure how they would handle and everything like that. So I've done a little bit of research on them. I've seen a lot of good reviews, but I've never really seen them in person or been in a car with them, so I'm not sure, and I can't find anything else that will drop to 4 inches. So if you guys know anything that will drop the car that low, or if you guys have Racelands and have an opinion on them, if you could let me know, that would be great. But as of now, Racelands are the only ones I can find that will drop the car enough that I can get the ride height I'm looking for. Also, a lot of you have been asking if I'm going to be doing any engine modifications, and yes, I do plan to modify the engine when the car is closer to being completed. I'm leaning away from a turbo kit on the stock engine or an engine swap. If I do go for an engine swap, it would be an LS1. I've looked into the kits for that for a little while now, and I am thinking about it, but I'm not sure yet. But what I really want to go with, at least for now, is another reason I wanted to lean away from doing airbag suspension is because there isn't a ton of trunk space in the VAYDOR as it is. So if I do go with bags, there will be the tank back here for the air supply and everything. And what I'm leaning towards at the moment is going with a nitrous setup, so I will have to put the bottles back here. I've read on a lot of forums that you can nitrous these engines. They respond to nitrous very well, and you can go up to about 100 shot of nitrous. I'd probably stick it around a 75 shot so I don't risk anything and I don't blow anything up. So I am leaning towards the nitrous. I'm not 100% set on that yet, but that's just what I've been thinking about and probably what I'm going to go with for now. And that's going to give me a good way to test out the power, see how I like it with the 75 shot, and then I can build it up from there. If I do get the engine built, the VQ, I would be putting a built engine in with probably a twin turbo setup and running that. But with just the stock internals, I don't want to push it too much, and I don't want to buy a $6,000 turbo kit just to be limited by the stock internals. So if I do end up getting a forged internal engine, then I will be going with a turbo kit for sure. But for now, on the stock engine, I'm probably going with a nitrous kit. And some of you might have been wondering why I haven't installed the gas cap yet. I lost the hinge that I cut off of the original gas cap. I've looked everywhere for it. I have absolutely no idea what I did with it. I might have thrown it away by accident. So I do need to order a new gas cap. That way I can fabricate it to the piece I cut out from here and get that all situated. So I will be getting to that soon, showing you how to do it. But yeah, that's why it's not done yet. So I'm going to come back to the back of the car and work with fitting the trim pieces and screwing in the rest of that plastic sheeting. And I'm also going to work on installing that center taillight, but it's freezing outside and I really don't have enough room behind the car to set up the tripod and show you all of that. So I'm just going to turn the camera off and work on that without showing you. And then after it's all done, probably next couple of days or something, I'll make another video and put it out there showing you how it looks, how everything's lined up. And that stuff will have to come back off before I paint or anything like that, but I do want to get it onto the car. That way I know everything's going to fit and I don't have to worry about scratching the paint, trying to get things to work out once it's, you know, finished and ready to pretty much be put together. And I know videos were slow recently and I haven't been posting very much, but I just really have not had time to work on the car. A lot of school stuff going on, but I am going to be done with finals in the next couple of days. So then I'm off for a little bit over a month, so I will have a lot of time to work on the car. So you guys should be seeing a lot more videos and a lot more progress over the next couple of weeks. So this is going to end today's video. So as always, thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.